everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm PJ and this is The Closet. So today I want to show you guys how to make a sundress. We're supposed to be making something out of that bandana material that we talked about, but it is really giving me a hard time, and so I put that material and that project to the side for right now. So a friend of mine wanted me to make a sundress. So this is what's happening. I went to the store, I bought a couple pieces of material I liked, I threw them together, and we're going to make a sundress. Two things. First of all, the sundress is really easy to make, but we'll get to that. First off, this is the material one piece of the material that I'm working with. This is like a silky, satiny, really flowy piece of material. Now, a couple things about this material. It's really hard to sew with because sometimes it will snag. So you have to make sure that you have the right needle. So, with that being said, Schmetz. I don't know if you can all see that or not. Hold on. Can you all see that? Now, these are universal needles, and they'll fit in almost any machine that you have. So what you have to do is you have to find the right needle that you're using for your project. Now, if you look, this says like jersey, and it also says a ball. Down at the bottom, it says 10, 12, 14. I think that's what it says. Yeah. See the bottom number down here where it says 10, 12, and 14, and then at the top it has different numbers? Okay, this is why. Some of these needles will go through different size material. Different, like jean or cotton or wool or silky satiny stuff. So you got to make sure that you have the right needle. Now this usually takes around a 9 or an 8. That said ball on it at the top. Now, when you're working with this kind of material, you want to make sure that it says sharp. It will say right on the top. Almost all of these needles will say universal. It'll say cotton. It'll say satin. It'll say whatever you're using this for. It'll say right at the top. It'll give you the numbers down below. The lower the number, the less material you have to go through. So if it's an 8 or a 9, it'll go through stuff like this. If it's a 12 or a 14, it'll go through stuff like the jersey and the denim and cottony, whatever. And the ball, this is pretty much a universal needle that you're going to use. So you have to make sure that you get the right needle for the right stuff. Like I said, they're really inexpensive. You usually get 3 in a pack. Sometimes you get just one if you're looking for one specific needle. Anyways, they're in the sewing aisles. You'll see once you get there what I'm talking about. So these will snag, so you have to make sure that that doesn't happen. So, the desk, the sewing stand. Don't be afraid to pick these up when you go to the estate sales, yard sales, flea markets, blah, blah, blah. Even if the varnish is really rough on them, you have to make sure that your material is not going to snag on your stand, because it will. So this is what I do. Usually you can get these really cheap. Like I said, yard sale, you know where I like to shop. So sometimes you can get these like 10 bucks. I have seen them for 10 bucks only because they're in rough shape. Now, if you want to take them and you want to sand them down and you want to go through all that and revarnish them, more power to you. I do not. This is why. All I have to do is take a piece of wax paper. Now, once you get your wax paper and you put it on your desk, you just need to tape it a little bit. Not a big deal, because then your material will slide right over it. And you don't have to worry about it snagging. Says what? Cause starting already. Because wax paper, of course, is really slick itself, so you don't have to worry about it getting snagged. It goes right up over this really nice. And just when you're done with it, you can take it off. You can leave it on. You don't have to worry about it. So to the dress. So there's your tip for the day. Okay, back to my dress. So, remember whenever we did the shirt that was also pink? Apparently I have something for pink. I don't know why. What's pink. So, remember we did the pink shirt and we just put the elastic through it and the seam down and wrapped it around a couple little straps, and that was it? This is basically the same thing, only it's longer, and we attached some of this other pink to the bottom so it really flows. That's it. So, all we did was make a longer shirt. I already have went and made our pocket for the elastic, as you can see. Remember to make the pocket almost the same size as your elastic. That way it don't roll on you. We all remember that. And we all remember that we made that hidden seam. And this time we made a hidden seam down here. Well, a little bit of one. I made this so it does look like this. I wanted it to flap down over. Now, if we were making a really pretty, elegant garment, we would not do that. But being it's a sundress, it just gives it a cute little flair. So I just made that so I had something to sew my really pretty little pink polka dotty flowy material underneath. So like you see, I just made the little seam and then I put that one on top of it. I gotta cut my ends off. And that's it. That's all I have done so far. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put my elastic through like we did with the pink shirt. I'm gonna do with this pink material, and we're gonna finish it up, and that's all there is to it. So stick around and we'll finish this up and put it on. Bye. I'll be back. Okay, hi everybody. I'm back. I got the finished product of what I was showing you guys before with the shirt, basically. So this is what I did with the finished product. I took basically the top and I made this shirt. So if y'all remember this pink shirt that we made, couple hems, some elastic, and a seam down the back, couple straps, we were done. So that's what I did with this. The only thing is I made this part shorter than what this one was. So what I did was I just took and made this one shorter, and I attached this bottom. The bottom did go clean to the floor, so instead of making another hem, because this was a little bit see-through, I just took and tucked this up underneath here, and I sewn both pieces together and made a hem. So I wasn't really happy with the way that these two pieces looked together. So what I did then was I went and I made this band to go around the dress. So of course all I did was I just took the piece of material, I made a couple hems in it, as you can see here, and I just attached it right to the dress. Now what I did was I started at the bottom first, then I got this all pinned on, and I started here and I came up. That way I knew exactly where to go on my band. So it made it a lot easier than starting up here and trying to go down. So this was already done for me, so I started here and went up. Easy. So I made the band, and then what I did was, all I did was put everything together right in the back. And I sewed all together and made sure that this was all lined up, this was all lined up, put one seam down it, and that was it. End of story. There was no hems every which way or whatever. I did not have to hem the bottom because of course this is just tucked up in. I did, however, iron it, so I had like a little bit of a crease down here, so I knew that if I washed it or I wore it or whatever, it would still stay together and not be all over the place. So I did kind of iron that. I made a couple straps just to go along with the band, that way kind of everything tied together. So when I was making this, I had only planned on using these two pieces of material. So this just goes to show that sometimes, even if the material is totally different from each other, they can still go together. Now, some of you may not like this, some of you may like this. I personally like this. So I want to show you the materials that I did use. Okay, my first start out was with these two pieces of material. This one is totally polka dot with a different whole texture of material as opposed to this one. But I liked the way that they looked together, so I used them together. Now, like I said, when I sewed these two together, I wasn't happy with the way that they had come together here in this part. It needed something else. So I put this then in with them. They do kind of match because this material kind of has the same design as the gray. So then once I put all of this together, it seemed to go together in my little mind. So this is what I used. Now, you could have made this all one piece. You can do this any way you want to do. But once again, it is a very easy dress to make. You make a shirt basically like we did before, and you just make it longer, pretty much. If you aren't sure exactly how we did it, you can always go back to the other video and watch how we made the pink shirt. So that's basically it in a nutshell. It did take me a little bit longer because I did put the band on here, but other than that, it wasn't that hard to do. So our next project is going to be this. I got this curtain at Hobby Lobby. Now the only thing with it is very see-through. So I'm going to have to put a lining underneath it, which I'm I'm thinking that it won't be that difficult for what I have in my brain. So it is a curtain. Here's the little pockets where all of the curtain rod would go through it. So I'm just going to go ahead and see if I can't get something going with this. So stick around if you want to see the next project. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody that watches my videos, that subscribes to my channel. Please, please subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up. Hit the notification bell. That way you can get all of the videos that I'm uploading and you won't miss a thing. Also, you can follow me on all of my other social media. I have Twitter and I have Instagram, and they are both PJ's Closet 101. So I would greatly appreciate that. And I think that's about it. So thanks. I think that's a wrap. Thanks, YouTube. Bye.